It's Friday night, everybody. You know what that means. It's Friday night. Let's have some fun. Let's get together and play a ton.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm John.
And we're
Friday Night Games.
And we want to immerse you into our love of this hobby by educating and entertaining you through our board gaming adventures. Our podcast lands every Friday, and we create content for Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, the internet, some other platform that may come out in the future. YouTube Shorts.
Ah, yes. That's new. This episode is sponsored by TabletopRenaissance.ca, located in our hometown of Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Their web store is active and live, so check out TabletopRenaissance.ca for your board game and tabletop miniature needs.
On today's show, we're going to go to the new final frontier. We're going to talk about space games. We're going to talk about all the common themes of space games.
Oh, what comes to mind when we think of space games?
What makes up a good space game?
And we're going to talk about the latest space games we played and if they fit into a good space game.
And we're going to keep this voice just like this.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any guests today.
Well, that's weird. That does feel off.
Yeah, we've had guests. We've had quite a lot of guests over the last couple months. So this is kind of a new thing. But actually, we have a bunch of guests lined up for the next couple months. So it's all good.
I think Matt and I just don't want to talk anymore.
Some of them don't even know who they are. Oh, yeah. I feel like we've only been playing space games recently. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, they have been taking up a lot of time on our table. Just trying to think back.
Well, Beyond the Sun, Cryo, Beyond the Sun. Wait, we have a list here. Oh, Terraforming Mars ×2. I mean, technically the Loop is kind of a space-ish game, right? Sci-fi.
I play a lot of Desolate, the solo game.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's space adventure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just the theme we like. Or maybe that's just what's come out a lot in the last year.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I feel like a lot of the top games, I mean, even like when you consider Dune Imperium.
Oh, yeah, Dune Imperium.
Right, that's up there too. It's hard not to mention that in this, but we're actually not going to talk about that very much today. So take that, Dune Imperium.
Take that. Get out of here.
And also, like, game night's kind of gotten really busy, eh? I think.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I was, like, slightly annoyed on Friday because I really just wanted to play Gloomhaven.
Yeah, no, sorry, dude. People just come and you can't do much about it. I'm like, yeah, once I saw, so we had two people who showed up who don't normally show up ever. Mm-hmm. And once that happened, I'm like, yeah, no, this game is, we'll be lucky to get through anything.
Yeah, we got through one scenario. I was hoping to get through at least 3. I feel like if me and Novi were playing, we would have easily gotten to 3 scenarios.
I agree with that, yeah. Or even if we had, I mean, Grabka's been coming a lot too, so it's been me, you, Novi, Grabka. But, like, yeah, we had 2 extras who we didn't account for.
That's okay.
We're laughing, but no one knows why we're laughing.
I mean, you know what? I think since we've been having a lot of people come, I know that on our list somewhere is to do a party game off or something.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, okay, we're just so everyone knows, we're on Labor Day today. So this is the very beginning of September.
Yeah.
No one's gonna show up after today. Guaranteed. Like,
oh yeah,
we're
probably.
not
because everyone's gonna. Well, especially
Some of them teach. Some of them are teachers. Some of them are now into a new busy season for their work. Or adults, but you know the pattern of life still keeps moving on, right? Some people have kids, and their kids go to school, so now there's that routine that they're falling into. So,
do I not have to show up now? I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's up to you. If you stop showing up, this is over. I'm telling you right now.
Well, maybe we'll do a party game, something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the show notes, you might see what the following next couple shows are, but you should read that one over. It's actually pretty cool. I think we might be doing that one next week. Who knows? It's definitely tough to play these bigger games when we have people who haven't shown up in a long time. And that was actually 2 weeks in a row where we've had people show up, and it was really hard to do anything because they're not. I mean, we had them in a normal group, but then COVID ruined everything. And now the groups become totally different, right? So, like, I saw Michaela today, and she was saying she probably won't be able to show up until like after Christmas. And I'm like, well, I'm like, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
That's your own. That's what you have to deal with, and I can't criticize because everyone's got to live their life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's all we're here to talk about.
Space.
Yeah, that's the final frontier. So when you think space, John, what themes come to mind? What is your favorite? And let's reference movies. Let's put it in the form of a movie. Like what is your favorite space movie, or what themes come to you, or what themes do you really want to watch when you watch a space movie?
I mean, that's tough because like space can go like super sci-fi, it can be horror, it can be superheroes.
But when I say John,
Yeah.
what is the movie, like when I go, you watched a space movie on the weekend, what movie would it have been?
Yeah, Star Wars always the first that comes to mind, obviously.
Yes, sci-fi, so like a sci-fi space, right?
Yeah.
World building, that's like world building.
Yeah, I'm also thinking like Aliens popped in my head while I was thinking about that too.
Nice.
But I feel like it's because I've been wanting to watch those movies and I haven't gotten a chance to watch them yet.
You never watched Aliens movies?
No, I have. I've just been like wanting to watch them again, but I just
Oh.
haven't had the chance to sit down and watch them.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of Aliens movies. Actually, the first thing that popped in my head was Aliens. Not Alien. Aliens.
Yeah, the sequel.
Yeah, which is the one that's like a campy, like, oh, we're gonna have to get flamethrowers and fight the queen alien, and
Yeah, that's
it's like the one I remember the most. Alien, I just remember it being like a super scary thriller on a plane, and then Alien 3, which was like Alien Resurrection, was like the same thing. Like Alien 3 was like Alien 1, just with like upgraded visuals.
yeah. I don't remember Alien 3, and I remember like Alien Resurrection being weird.
I don't think I saw it. No, I've seen Alien Resurrection. I don't.
Yeah, the only one I haven't seen is Covenant, Alien Covenant, the newest one.
Okay. Or have you seen Prometheus? That's another one
Yeah.
that's basically Alien also.
Yeah.
It's like Alien Origins, which is a
I'm
good
not.
one.
Maybe this week I'll watch some Alien movies. We'll
Wow, just convinced you.
see. Yeah, I've been wanting to, so whatever. Yeah, and I don't know if those like aliens are my favorite.
Aliens are definitely not my favorite,
Yeah.
but like I guess like Aliens reminds me of a couple games. Nemesis
Nemesis for
Nemesis reminds me of that, and then Escape from Aliens in Outer Space reminds me of Alien,
sure. Oh yeah.
right? Or Alien Resurrection or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're trying to get off the ship, get away from the alien. Yeah, for sure.
Right. And then another thing that really comes to mind is traveling to a new planet.
Yep.
For survival, generally.
Yeah. We've
Or-
destroyed the Earth, and now we got to destroy something else. Another planet.
Yeah, we have to mine all the resources on another planet, and that's why I love the movie Interstellar.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a great movie. Basically, we just described it. Earth is dying, and they got to go to another planet.
So our future soon.
Yeah, the near future, actually.
Yeah.
And then, admittedly, I don't watch enough movies, to be honest with you. I feel like you watch a lot more movies than I do.
Yeah, I mean, space movies aren't really something are like a go-to for me. Now that I think about it, like I like Star Wars, I like Star Trek,
Yeah, those
but
are
I
classics.
don't think I've seen all the Star Trek movies enough to like be like, yeah. And I feel like most space movies that I've seen, there's some like cheesy ones like Leprechaun in Space,
Yeah, I've never
Jason
seen that.
X, where they go in space,
Never
when they
seen
like,
that.
or it's like always like whatever killer in space, like. Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah. I guess that's super campy.
Well, yeah, that's what I think. I think of like super cheese now. Now that I'm off the rails right now.
Or you probably like that one. There's this like really one crazy movie. I think it was like Event Horizon. That is a ridiculous movie.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that when I was younger.
That is a ridiculous movie. Basically, like the ship goes through hell.
Okay.
It's super bizarre. It's a terrible movie. It is like, I don't know. People love it. It's called classic though.
Oh yeah, I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I guess like when you're traveling to a new planet, it could definitely go two ways. It could be like the game Terraforming Mars or
Yeah.
Beyond the Sun, right? You're just trying to like land on a planet and increase your technology so that we can survive. Or it could go like, Event Horizon or Alien Resurrection or 2001 Space Odyssey, or the ship's trying to kill you, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're now up in space. It's now a thriller, and what am I doing, right?
Yeah.
So like Nemesis would be a great example of that, or SOS, the game by our friends at FridayKnight.Games.
Oh yeah.
Ships
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to kill
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
That game just got released too. Yeah, and then finally the other thought that comes to mind is like you kind of said it, Star Trek, Star Wars. Like those are really fun themes, more world building. Like you're in it for the long haul. Sci-fi more than anything, right? And if you like that, then Mission to Planet Hex is up your alley.
Well, I didn't even think of Mission to Planet Hex for this. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, no, it totally. Because think about it, it has all the references to all those fun sci-fi shows and movies, right? So that is very good example. So okay, so I just mentioned 3. Aliens, traveling to another planet, and fun, right? Star Trek, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite?
I'm gonna have to go with I want to say Star Wars, but something is pulling me to the aliens, the horror-esque side of it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
You're a thriller type person.
Yeah.
And mine is pretty boring. Mine's traveling to another planet. So
Yeah.
yeah, you are boring. I see that. Okay, so when you think outer space, what is a must for your board game?
I mean, space.
Yeah.
Spaceships.
Spaceships, sweet technology.
Yeah,
I
something to do
think
with technology.
that has to be a must.
It really depends on what we're going for here. So you can do a lot of things with space. Maybe time travel would be kind of a cool element.
Oh, so just like Event Horizon.
Yeah. So we got spaceships. We have
planet. There has to be a planet.
Has to be a planet.
Tech.
Yeah, it has to be some sort of villain. Tech is 100%.
Yeah, a villain, or you're fighting another person.
Yeah, some sort of threat. And I think of all the games that we've been playing that are space theme always have some sort of resource management. You need to exploit the resources of the planet and stuff like that.
I feel like that's true, even if it's a spaceship game.
Yeah.
You have to keep the the engine with fuel or something.
Right.
I think that's a pretty common. Resources are pretty common for those, for everything.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to have aliens though. I don't think it has to have aliens. I feel like that's a common thing, but it doesn't. It's not necessarily needed.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything that's sticking out in my mind that really makes me really immerses that theme. And I think just a general sense of exploration.
Okay.
I think maybe that'd be kind of where I'm going.
Cool.
With that.
So okay, well we played. We have 5 games lined up that we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Briefly. And we'll see if they make a good space game.
Sounds
How about
good.
that?
Let's
Okay.
do it.
So the first one I'm going to talk about is, and I guess we're just going to do this round robin style. I'm going to pick Terraforming Mars, the original.
Okay.
So the game is very simple. The idea is that you are a corporation trying to terraform Mars. So the game ends once you fill the planet with oxygen, lakes, and you rise the temperature enough that it's habitable for humans. And then basically the game is played out on a board. You get resources and you're playing. It's an engine builder, so you keep playing cards, which gives you more resources. And by the end of the game, you should have a lot of actions going on that raise your money and resources and everything that lets you terraform Mars quicker. And the winner is the person who has the most terraforming points at the end of the game.
Nice. I think I'm going to talk about Beyond the Sun. It's like a space civilization game where you're trying to build this tech tree to kind of progress humankind, kind of like the world's ending, right? So we got to make sure that we have enough resources to survive, essentially. And then there's another element to the game where you are exploring space to gain resources from different planets. It's a really cool action drafting, air majority, worker placement game. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah, it has a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your own board where you get resources, and then you're doing actions to gain tech strategies. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the third game is another Terraforming Mars. New this year, Ares Expedition. So basically, take the other game I just described, and in the other game, you're taking turns. So I have 1 or 2 actions, the next person goes, and then the round ends once everyone can't do an action. The round ends.
Right.
Well, in this one, you actually have 2 cards. You have your hand, and you have a set of action cards, and everyone plays a face-down action card, which determines what things you could do in a round, which could be play a green card, play a blue or red card, do a production phase, draw more cards. And I'm missing one, but play I don't know, who knows. I'm missing something else. But anyways, you play that, and then that determines the phases that gets played. Everyone plays at the same time. And then at the end of it, you keep going until you Terraform Mars, basically. It's a simpler game. It's more streamlined, and I mean, the game says it plays in an hour. I don't. There's no way. It's about half an hour per person. But when we played Terraforming Mars, that said it played in like 3 hours, and that definitely plays in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Or more.
So the next one, I want to talk about Godspeed by Panasaurus Games. I like the theme of this game. So basically, they're saying that the space race to the moon was a lie, and we did go to the moon, but we also landed on this other planet that we kind of wanted to exploit those resources. So you're trying to colonize this other moon about 18 months earlier than when we landed on the moon, and it's a cool like bidding game, worker placement game. Basically, most points wins at the end of the game. I like how in the game there's like a high council phase where you're kind of negotiating who's going to respond to certain things going on in the game, and then there's an auction phase where you bid on like supplies and who's going to be the first player, etc. Then your actions and resolutions, and then you get prestige points to win the game. So I'm pretty excited. It was a pretty cool game. It's been a while since we played it, but hopefully I can talk about it more off memory. But yeah, it was a cool game.
Yeah, that is a really good game. I also like the alien artifacts you can pick up too.
Yeah, the Xeno relics or whatever they're called.
Yeah, those things really boost your game. I really like that game.
Yeah.
All right, and then the final game we're here to talk about is Cryo, which is a mission gone wrong. Tensions continue to mount aboard your colony ship as the days drag on. An anonymous act of sabotage has sent your ship plummeting to the surface of a frozen, uncharted planet. Damaged beyond repair, the scattered remains will do little to protect you from the brutal cold. In other words, you got to collect your cryopods and put them on your ship. And then send them to the caves so that you can score points at the end of the game. Yeah. The game is a worker placement / they say it's engine building, but it's more like you collect things, and you have these drones that you fly out as workers, and when you fly them back, you can then spend the resources you collected to do different things to kind of get basically you're getting your ship prepared to send them to the caverns.
Nice.
So as we played it, I think we kind of phased together, and then at the end of the game, you're just trying to send out everyone to get as many into the cavern as possible to score as many points as you possibly can.
Right. I'm going to sneak another game in here.
Do it.
I want to talk about Desolate by Grey Gnome Games. It's a solo game. I have this game on me all the time. It's a really cool push your luck dice rolling game where you're on like a rescue mission, but your rescue ship crashes and you have to survive. So basically you find this other space station, you go in, you're trying to find stuff that's going to fix your ship, but you're always going to be attacked by aliens and stuff like that, and you really have to survive. It's super hard. I think I've only beat it once out of like the 100 times I played this game. Like, it's so difficult, but it's so much fun.
Cool, man. Yeah, that sounds like a good game. All right. So on that note, now that we listed all the games that we're going to try and squeeze into what makes a good space game.
Space Force.
All right, John. So what makes a good space game, and do the games that we mentioned fit these criteria? Okay. So let me ask you, what makes a good space game?
Spaceships. I'm just kidding. A big part of it is I find that most space games have some sort of technology element that you have to achieve.
Yeah, I like that because we probably need to be creative on all the cool things we could invent in the future, right?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Right.
Okay, so let's analyze our games.
Sweet.
So Godspeed.
Yeah, so in Godspeed you've landed on this moon. From what I remember, there's these things called Xeno relics that you have to collect in the game. What do they do again?
Oh, they give you like a boost. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think Novi had one that gave him, like, extra resources. You can only collect them at a certain point in the game, I'm pretty sure. So, like, after, like, so many rounds. Okay, so that's good. Were they cool? I don't know.
Weren't the Xeno relics, like, little spiky thing, little meeple things you get in the game?
Oh, yeah, they're, like, alien technology, right?
Yeah, it was, like, that was the alien technology.
Right. Okay. So, yes, so Godspeed had it.
Right.
Okay. What about Terraforming Mars?
My mom obviously didn't go through all the cards.
I mean, all the cards had... Well, okay, first of all, Terraforming Mars, every card is different.
Right.
So it's impossible to remember everything we went through, but the cards were technologies, right? Some of them were like, oh, you made a biosphere, or you made, super spacesuits. I don't know, things like that.
Yeah, I would say that it has it.
Okay, so both of them have it. They're basically the same game.
Yeah.
Beyond the Sun.
Beyond the Sun, well, you're building a tech tree. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The specifics of the technologies in it, it grows as you go further along the tech tree.
Okay. Cryo.
Cryo, you have your drones, and your drones are there to pick up your cryopods. Cryopods. Do they pick up any technology in that game?
I should just to remind you, the drone
Yeah.
cards, the ones you're like use, they're vehicles,
Yeah.
right? So those get sent. Sorry, no, your drones. I guess drones do exist, so that's not a cool technology.
Mm-mm.
But there's those vehicle cards,
Yeah.
and on the vehicle cards they have you can upgrade your ship
Right.
with things to make it better, right? Or you can use them as vehicles to place your pods. I mean, I guess a spaceship is a form of a cool like tech. I don't know. I don't think Cryo was as exciting technology as the games we previously mentioned.
Right.
So
I
it
agree.
kind of gets a eh. All right, what about Desolate?
Yeah, Desolate is kind of cool. So if you're getting you can upgrade your armor in it, but you're basically trying to find these cells that'll help fix your spaceship. I wouldn't say cool alien technology, but there's some element to it, but not as nifty as we're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on that conclusion, the niftiest games were Godspeed
And Beyond the Sun, I would say.
and Terraforming Mars.
Terraforming Mars.
Terraforming Mars a third.
Yes.
So Beyond the Sun a 1 because that's what the game is about.
Yeah.
2 would be Godspeed / maybe Terraforming Mars would be above Godspeed.
Maybe.
Because Terraforming Mars is kind of like everything was a tech,
Yeah.
right? So and then Godspeed, then Desolate, then Cryo.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds good.
We'll agree with that.
So what's next, Matt? What other element would make a good space game?
Duh, spaceships. You joked about it, but I'm throwing it out there, man. And that's because spaceships are cooler than tricked out sports cars. I mean, just ask, all the billionaires who are going to
Yeah.
space, right?
Imagine having all that money
And
that you
wasting
would
it.
solve world problems, and you're sending dick-shaped spaceships into space. Cool, bro. Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Okay, so we'll judge these games on how cool their spaceships are
All right.
for the tricked out billionaires, right? Okay, so Godspeed. Was there a spaceship on that? I don't really.
I think from what I can gather, they were just nations spaceship, rocket ships. No, I wouldn't say anything fancy.
Okay, so nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Terraforming Mars, that didn't really have anything.
No, because you're already on Mars when you're there, right?
Yeah, there might have been a card with it, but I don't remember it, so
Yeah.
throw it away. Beyond the Sun,
Well, you have your spaceships that you're exploring.
right? The
Planets.
world board.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always building spaceships for that, right?
Yeah.
Are they cool? I mean, they're fine.
They're fine.
Cryo.
Yeah, I guess those cool little spaceship card upgrades.
You know what?
Pretty dope.
I mean, your player board is a spaceship.
Yeah.
And then you have the vehicles; those would be spaceships too. Your drone is a drone; I guess that could be a spaceship. So they have the most spaceships.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, all right, Cryo, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
Yeah.
What about Desolate?
I mean, there's a spaceship in it. You've crashed it, but
That's-
you've got to fix it.
So, like, a real billionaire's driving that spaceship, or what?
I guess so.
Sweet. Okay. Well, I mean, if we were to order this, how would it go? I mean, we just said Cryo is number 1.
Yeah, I would say Cryo, and then I would probably say Beyond the Sun, Desolate, then Terraforming Mars and Godspeed. Kind of
Yeah.
on the same page there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sweet. So if you're a billionaire, you're definitely going for Cryo because you got spaceships upon spaceships. So
Yeah.
that's pretty sweet. Okay, John, what about you? Give me another criteria for an amazing space game.
I would say getting to an unexplored planet.
Why is that?
I mean, if you want to get political about it, global warming.
Okay.
we are killing our planet. We need a new planet with resources so that we can fight wars with their people and ruin that planet while we're at it.
That's a great idea. We should just, you know what? Yeah, why are we fighting wars on our own planet? We should just move it to space. Let's all send all the major powers to Mars and they can fight it out. They can fight it out there, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that's great thinking. That's great thinking. Okay, so does Godspeed have an unexplored planet?
Yep.
Terraforming Mars?
I mean, technically, we're exploring Mars right now, so no.
Oh, I like that. I like that. All right. Beyond the Sun?
Yeah, there's a bunch that were.
There's a bunch. Yeah,
Yeah.
the theme isn't mainly planets, right?
Right.
So, but you're exploring a lot of planets to live. Cryo.
Yeah. What planet are you on in Cryo?
I don't know actually. I thought they named the planet.
Yeah,
It just says an icy planet.
an icy planet. Sure, it's Pluto.
Hostile factions. Yeah, it's probably Pluto. Okay. And then Desolate.
You're on like a moon.
The moon?
The moon.
Our moon?
I think it's the moon.
So that's even less explored than Mars.
Yeah, I guess so. No, you're on a distant moon X483.
Oh, okay.
So whatever that means. But it's not a planet, it's a moon. There's aliens on it.
Okay. So there's aliens on it. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, okay, so Terraforming Mars, we'll put them at the bottom
Sure.
because, it's Mars. Although we actually haven't really, well, we've explored it, but not to the extent that they're doing in the game.
Right.
Wow. And then I would say Beyond the Sun next because it's not really planet based.
It's part of the game, but it's not like the main part of the game. And it's it's more cards than like a big portion of the board.
Right.
It's like, this planet will give you this resource for this turn type thing.
Right. And then I guess after that, Cryo, Godspeed, and Desolate are all kind of they're all kind of the same. I would rather be on the Godspeed planet though. I think Godspeed's Mars, isn't it?
No, you're on it's not Mars. It's like a different planet that exists that we don't talk about because it's not supposed to exist.
Oh, like we made it to a planet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an exoplanet called Ursae Majoris 18. So just a made-up planet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'd rather be on that planet because the aliens are dead.
Right.
So I'm gonna put that number 1.
Yeah.
Desolate has aliens that are alive.
Yeah, they're gonna kill you. It says so in the rule books. You will die.
And then Cryo sounds like I'm not gonna survive this planet because we have to get to this cavern thing to live.
Right.
So I don't know.
I mean, I have to work to survive.
You see you later.
See ya.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go Godspeed, Cryo, Desolate, Beyond the Sun, Terraforming Marses.
Sure.
Sounds like a good list there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I think the last thing it needs is a bigger than life event because our lives are boring. So it needs to be bigger than life event in the game somehow.
Okay.
Which I don't know if any of them actually have that. Is Godspeed? Godspeed does. Godspeed does because the space race was a lie and they didn't land on the moon and they went to a different planet. So,
well, they did land on the moon, but they landed on this thing first.
Right.
Right.
And that is a bigger than life event because they're fighting for that. So I think that's a yes.
Okay.
Terraforming Mars is just corporations trying to get resources out of Mars.
Yeah, that sounds like something that'll happen in the near future.
Yeah, so that isn't a bigger than life event. That's a real life event.
Okay.
That's going to happen.
Okay, probably.
Maybe not in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
Beyond the Sun, they're basically trying to find a new planet. So, okay, so
so like our planet is done.
Yeah.
We've destroyed it, and now we have to search for other source of life, like where we can live. So yeah, I would say so.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that. Cryo, I don't know.
What were you doing
crashes.
out that? Yeah, what were you doing out that far, not flying your ship properly?
And then why are the factions hostile with each other? There's a lot of questions going on in this game.
Yeah.
we have hostile factions fighting over a planet. They all crash. They're all fighting to get in the cavern. This is just weird.
Yeah, it sounds weird. Sure.
So, bigger than life event. Desolate. Well.
Okay, so Desolate, you're on like a rescue mission because there is a ship that had crashed. But then you go ahead and crash your ship too. So I would say
so you're a really bad pilot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone that you work with is a bad pilot, apparently.
Okay. Maybe because they just don't know how to land ships.
Sure. Maybe the aliens shot you down. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Good point.
Yeah, I would say if I'm going to put anything on top, I'd probably say Godspeed.
I would say Godspeed just because the event is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Terraforming Mars is obviously kicked to the bottom because it's real life.
Yeah, I would probably go Godspeed, Beyond the Sun, maybe Cryo, then Desolate.
Yeah.
Then Terraforming Mars is.
I agree with that.
Mars is.
I like how the Terraforming Mars came in last in every category.
Don't be boring.
Hey, it's a great game.
It's a great game. Yeah.
It is like a really good game. It's just boring. The economy. It's economy games.
Economy, yeah.
Like, when you say Monopoly, does anyone jump out of their seat at the action-packedness of Monopoly? No.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite game of those choices?
My favorite game of those would probably be Beyond the Sun.
Okay. I got that out of how you're trying to rank it up.
Yeah. Get up there. Get up there. The one I think I probably had the most fun playing, though, was probably... So I played Desolate a lot. I had a lot of fun playing it, but it's a solo game. Godspeed, probably the one I probably had the most fun playing out of all those. Those would be my two picks.
Yeah, I mean, Godspeed's hard to beat. I actually agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
That's kind of an oddball. That's a hipster choice, for sure. I actually think Terraforming Mars is a very, very, very good game.
Yeah.
So John and I played the new version, and then I taught him the old version, which is actually a more complicated version.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think of the two games? Like, how would you compare them?
It's tough because I think I'm like blending them together, but there was things I like.
So.
Yeah, there was things I liked with the Ares Expedition and things I liked about the base game, but there are also things I don't like about them, and I think those are like equal forces. So it's tough for me to choose.
Tell me what you don't
better.
like. Tell me what you don't like.
So what I don't like about the base game is like the cards you draw at the beginning of your turn, and you have to like choose a couple or maybe choose a couple.
So this is Ares Expedition?
No, this is the base game.
Okay, the regular game.
I think that just adds so much. If you have someone that can't make choices easily in your group, that's going to really hinder your game length because they're going to sit there and be like, I don't know what any of these cards
We have
do.
a story about this.
Yeah,
actually.
So I feel like that element of the game really was like, why do I have to do this every turn for something like I could choose? Like, it's a choice you have to make whether you want a card or not, and I feel like that's just adding like a level of a decision that could make the game take hours to play or not. As far as the Ares Expedition, I think what I didn't like about that was even though do your cards combo in that version for the resources?
Yeah, they all combo on both versions.
It was really tough to figure out, like keep track of everything that's going on, to making sure that I'm getting all the resources I need properly.
The thing I didn't like about Ares Expedition, even though it's supposed to be the most streamlined game, is I had two hands. I had the hand of actions that I could play. So if you don't know, you have two hands. Well, I guess, yeah, you have two hands. One hand is that you play a card face down, and that determines what action you could do. So you could build or produce or draw cards, etc. And then you have another hand, which is the cards you can actually play with the resources you have. So yeah, there's actually a lot going on, and I felt like just managing your two hands was a lot.
Yeah,
because I'm like, oh, what do I got to play next? And it kind of got better as you play, but that very beginning turn, you're just like overwhelmed. And even though I played the game solo a couple times before I taught it to you, I still felt overwhelmed on my first like turn of the game. I'm like, I actually don't know what to do. Like, I'm like, I don't know, produce? Okay, yeah. I'll produce, right? And then I agree with you 100% with Terraforming Mars, the regular game. It's just, there could be so much analysis paralysis in there that's so thinky. In fact, we were playing it. So remember, a normal round, so Ares Expedition, everyone plays their action card, and then they flip it up, and then you do the action. If you play a specific action, you get like a bonus. Right. But in the regular game, you don't have that. Also, sorry, in the Ares game, everyone plays their round at the same time. Mm-hmm. So you're like, okay, we're doing building phase. Everyone chooses their building cards. We're doing draw phase. Everyone draws their cards, right? In the regular game, they don't have that. It goes around the table, and everyone does two actions until they can't do another action. So if someone's really taking their time trying to understand the whole game and trying to realize every move, it's going to take forever.
Right.
And so we started playing at started playing at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think it was like probably even closer to. Oh yeah, about a little bit after 10.
We started playing a little bit after 10, and at 11 we didn't even get through one round.
Right.
And then at 11:30 we're like, we're never gonna finish this game in like 4 hours. So then we actually did a little hack. We all just started doing our turns all at the same time, which was actually kind of fun. But it was actually terrible too, because there's sometimes you claim an award or something, right? So like for instance, John, you were quick. You had all your turn laid out. You're like, I claim the award. You jumped ahead. Meanwhile, Novi's like, like, what move should I do? Yeah. Meanwhile, like me and you are done, and you're looking at your phone. I'm like, yeah, Novi, just kind of like do whatever.
Yeah, I think when we decided doing everything together, like it worked, but there was things that didn't work. Like there was stuff where I had
cards that if you did something,
right,
I would get resources.
Right.
So like,
That was the one part I was like, yeah, that doesn't work. But it was funny that I did all like the rewards, and then Novi was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm like, no, you can't. I did that. Did all 3 of them.
Yeah, his look of disappointment was pretty sad. But I mean, Novi's good. Novi's an amazing player when it comes to like he kicks our butt usually because he'll analyze everything, but it takes him forever, right?
Right.
Whereas me and you were more reactive. We're like, look, I know I can analyze everything and have a good strategy, but this game's going to take forever, so that's not the fun value goes down when I do that.
It's chaos magic.
You just throw it out there and maybe it'll work, right?
Right.
So that's what I hated about those 2 games. But I really like the games themselves are amazing. Like as an engine builder, it's like the original engine builder, and it really plays really well. Solo, both games actually played amazing because solo I don't have to wait for other people. I just play my own turn. So it was actually a really good solo game, both of them.
Nice.
And then when we played Terraforming Mars, we actually played with an expansion, the Prelude expansion, which gives us extra bonus cards, which gives us extra resources, so the game doesn't go on even longer. So, but I still think it was long even with them, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So where's this going for? Oh, what I hate, what's my favorite game?
Yeah. Best space game.
Wow, I just went on a tangent there. I actually think it's, I said Godspeed is the hipster thing, but if I had to go with one of the other ones, Beyond the Sun was good. I think we need another play of it.
Yeah.
But I'll go with Ares Expedition just because I know it's Terraforming Mars, but everyone plays at the same time, so
yeah,
speeds it up.
I think just like with Beyond the Sun for me, it was a game that like I was trying to learn it so that you didn't have to.
Yeah,
so I spent a lot of time, like I watched a lot of playthrough videos, and I was watching one, and my wife came downstairs. She watched like the last maybe like 10 minutes. She's like, I'm never playing that game with you, just so you know. But after we played it, I'm like, it wasn't as bad as, I don't want to say as bad as bad in quotation marks. The video was just trying to explain everything in very good detail that it just seemed like a lot. It wasn't as like there wasn't as much to do as like it seems.
Yeah, I actually agree with that because you look at the board and you're like, this game looks ridiculous, but there isn't actually that many things you could do. It's like you can move your pawn and then that tells you what you can do basically.
Exactly.
So you have very limited actions. But yeah, the game does look daunting. And actually, when you think about it, you compare Beyond the Sun to Terraforming Mars. Beyond the Sun is actually easier to play, even though it has the potential to have more rules. Actually, no, maybe Terraforming Mars has more rules because every card's different. So okay, you convinced me. Beyond the Sun's a good game.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring it soon again.
Yeah.
As I look at our shelf,
yeah. Yes, we will. Okay, so there you go. Godspeed and Beyond the Sun. And then what's dead last? I didn't like Cryo.
I didn't like Cryo either.
I didn't like it. And honestly, when we were playing it, I felt like we were mirroring our moves almost. Maybe it'd be better with 3 players, but I don't know. I didn't really like
play it with 3 players.
It just seemed like the game was just a scramble at the end. Like it was like, oh, I got to get my pods in the cave. And then so you're just collecting, and then at one point you're like, you know what? I got to go to the cave. That's how the game rolled out for me. Like I was just like, oh, at this point, I don't know. We got 3 rounds left. If I don't start doing this now, I'm never gonna get there.
Yeah. Then there was one point for me where you had like the spaces. Like what I don't like about it is that the first thing when you're like putting all the spaces out, like that's random, right? Mm-hmm. And there was a space where you kind of just like controlled everything, and that was like a crucial part of the game was to have those things, and I just couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
And
I did that on purpose.
Yeah, I know, but but it was just like it just was like frustrating because it's like, well, how am I supposed to get these resources? Or I forget what I think it was something to get.
It was there was an extra thing. If I put a pod down, I could get extra resources every round. I mean, you still ended up beating me in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that right away, and I'm like, oh, I'll just throw all my stuff there, and then but you noticed it, and you're like, oh, I better do that too.
Right.
And that's where I'm talking about the mirroring comes in because you're like, you notice someone do something, and you're like, oh, I should do that too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're like, I don't know.
It's tough to play your own game.
Yeah, I don't feel like our actions really had that much influence on the game. Like your actions versus my actions. It's supposed to feel very tense, which it did. I guess at the end of the day, it felt like, oh, we need to get our guys we need to get our pods in the caves. So yeah, there was a tension there. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. We're both doing very similar moves. Maybe it plays out better with 3 people because there's a little more chaos.
We would have to play it with 3 people, I think.
Because I've also heard Godspeed doesn't play well with 2,
I can see that.
but it plays well with like 3.
Yeah,
Like really well with 3.
I can see
Better
that.
with 4, right? So like with 2, it's not very good. Actually, I think it's a 3-player minimum. Now that I mention it, let me check that. Yeah, so it plays better with 3, from what I hear. So 2 probably is not very good. It probably might have the same problem as Cryo,
Maybe.
to be honest. And that is a very unpopular opinion, by the way. I think a lot of people like Cryo. Oh, sorry. But Beyond the Sun is way better. So is Godspeed.
I have a question for you, Matt.
Okay.
Is there a game that we didn't mention in this episode that you think would beat the games that we did?
Yeah, and this is another unpopular opinion. It's kind of more of a party game, but it's a space team.
Oh yeah.
I love
game's
that.
So good.
I love that game. Although I could see, you know what? I actually had a friend I recommended it to, and they loved it. You know, we only got to play it a handful of times. Which technically is a lot because you can play a handful of times in one sitting. But so you really get your money out of it, by the way. They are not paying us any money to say that.
No.
But wow, I made myself laugh. Anyways,
funny.
so they actually played it so much that they said it did become boring
Okay.
because you're repeating a lot of the same stuff.
Right.
They played it like 20 times because they started bringing it out with different groups of people, and
Okay.
and then they
Was
said
like in
that.
a row?
Sorry.
I was gonna say they played it 20 times in a row.
Not in a row, but they just played it so much that they just like it became like kind of repetitive. They bought the expansion, which upped it a bit, but still didn't give them the replay value, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I actually love that game. I highly recommend it. If you've never played it, you should play it. If you like 5-Minute Dungeon, it's very similar.
Yep.
In fact, that led me to recommend them 5-Minute Dungeon, and they got that and they loved it. And actually, they didn't get bored of 5-Minute Dungeon, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And they got the expansion for that and loved it too. So if you really like Space Team is amazing, and it's just so everyone knows what it is. It's very simple. Everyone has a deck of cards, and there's a timer, and you're basically trying to you have your other hand, which is tools. So you have to pass around tools without really communicating to unlock the cards that are in front of you to get spaceship parts. And then once you complete the spaceship, you win. And then there's like these like crazy cards you pull up which affect the game, and you have to resolve it before you can move on.
I think my favorite part of that was you lose, like you get float off in space or something.
Yes.
And you gotta pretend that you're like floating off in space.
Yes,
And then your team has to like rescue you.
And everybody's looking at you like they have no idea what's going on because especially your first game of this, you're like, I don't know what you have to do. And then basically everyone has to stop what they're doing, look over, read the card, and then like fix it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's great. It's such a
fun
great
game.
game. What about you, John?
We kind of talked about it, touched on it earlier. I think Nemesis
Oh man,
would be good.
Yeah.
I just want to play that game again. We only played it the one time, and I feel like it's a game I want to play again because I feel like we never got to fight the queen.
It could play out differently every time.
So
It's almost like I actually kind of really like that game. It's like if you were to take Gloomhaven and take away all the scenarios, and then it could just kind of lets you play a different game every time, right?
Cool.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. In fact, we might have another. I guess it's time for a little announcement. We might have another Last Game Standing coming up, and someone might have nominated that game.
Oh yeah, I did see that in the emails.
Yeah.
Or messages.
So there you go. There's a
That means
little
I have to choose a game. I don't know what I'm gonna choose.
So that's just a little bit of a spoiler there for all of you listeners. We should
Cool.
leave it at that, right?
See ya.
Thanks for listening.
If you like what you hear, don't forget to follow us on your favorite streaming platform. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Instagram at FridayKnight_Games_official, Twitter at FridayKnightGMS, TikTok at FridayKnightGames, and as always, our website, FridayKnight.Games. Again, I'm John.
I'm Matt.
It's Friday night. Let's have some fun.
And thanks for letting us be your flavorites.
Flav.